11-year-old Rashad Jeffries had attention and behavior problems, but it was clear he was having more specific problems as well.
Then he added, "That twin brother of yours, he's amazing."
He wasn't the best writer, and he would be able to tell you what he wants to write, but for him to go from here to writing it down, he would miss words, his sentences wouldn't be complete.
I wouldn't concentrate at all.
Dr. Robert Reynolds of the Reynolds Clinic in Middletown said those kinds of specific problems are often problems with what's called executive functions.
These are the parts of our brain that actually direct our intelligence, that keep us on track, that keep us moving forward in our lives.
They can be problems specifically with starting or switching between tasks, focusing, you can see organizing and planning, even emotional self-control. And you know what? Dr. Reynolds has a pretty interesting way of figuring out exactly where the problem lies.
We employ a technology here we called EEG neurofeedback treatment, or EEG neurofeedback therapy. And it's a different way of approaching the problem. So the first thing we do is we take actual pictures of that child's brain.
We were invited in to watch as Dr. Reynolds performed a 5-step test on another patient, Dan.
All right, so Dan, we're gonna take a recording. We're gonna start with your eyes closed.
After 3 minutes, the same test, but this time with the eyes open.
All I'm gonna ask you to do is look at the little puppy dog like we have many of our younger children do.
Then the subjects are tested doing some reading, and then some math, and then tested back down at a resting state.
Very good. Okay, I'll stop. You started to sleep a little bit. It's a little bit like going through the gears of a transmission. Do they go from first to second to third to fourth smoothly, or do they get stuck? Where they get stuck gives me more insight into where they're having trouble.
If a part of the brain shows up in red, that means it's working too hard. Blue means not hard enough. So to get them to a nice even green, Dr. Reynolds makes a game of it.
We actually had the child sitting there, believe it or not, playing a video game, not with a joystick, not with a keyboard, just with their thoughts.
When you're focused, you'll get a point.
In this particular game, the more you're in the moment, the faster the cube spins and the more points you get.
And once it's adapted, it's a little bit like learning to ride a bike. The brain never forgets it.
Rashad said he loved his therapy.
I like that we compete against other people.
And his results were dramatic.
By the end of our 30 sessions and the end of the school year, he went from D's and F's to A's and B's.
And Christine said that changed the whole dynamic at home.
He changed our family.
Whole family?
He gave me back my son.
The American Academy of Pediatrics calls EEG neurofeedback a level 1 intervention. That's the best level, on par with behavior therapy and medication. And because of that, now more and more insurance companies are starting to reimburse a lot of the costs, which can otherwise run into the thousands. However, right now it is kind of hit or miss with insurance, so you will just have to check with your carrier. I'm Tim Lammers, Fox 61 News.